So then I have to go like, oh, there we are. Hey, everybody. Medium Brandon Russ. Underachieving on the regular as we begin to review all of our life decisions. You know, this time of the year when you're forced to deal with your root and where you came from and deal with your friends and family that you only have to deal with like once, maybe twice a year,
Max.
At weddings, funerals, and in this case, Thanksgiving. You okay? Are you comfortable? So my prop sitting here next to me is my sister.
The prop.
She's completely accomplished in her own right. Are you medium?
Extra large.
So we've already had a great time.
When's
today.
that coffee from? Yesterday?
No, it's how'd you know?
12 days ago?
This is my sample.
Oh.
just in case somebody drug tests me.
That's a little bright yellow.
It's called
As a
Gatorade.
nurse.
Really? Like you can't even. It's like TV. You don't give away the secrets. So Natalie's a nurse.
True
We call her Nurse Natalie. When she's not saving the entire coast of New Hampshire from itself. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I know the shape is intimidating.
Never have I ever.
Oh, there you go. We're learning today. We're also recognizing that what are our similarities? What's kind of fun? And I thought it would be kind of fun. We are going to turn over some cards because we have the Snoopy deck here, and I think that's your favorite. You like Snoopy still?
Still? Like 5 years old? All right. Yep.
What, you're not an eternal child?
Abso-flippin'-lutely. I did just tell a story about how you stole a bunny from me one time. Do you remember that?
Let's just get right into the dirt because that's really why people are here. What did I stole
a bunny?
A rabbit?
Yeah, and you brought it home.
And I set it free?
No, and you were like, Nat, I got you a gift. And it ran away the next day. There's irony all over that.
I'm resourceful. I'm an excellent gift giver.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally remember that.
Yeah.
Was it not? And again, we're going to be on theme and on point right out of the gate. And by the way, can everybody hear Natalie? I want to make sure that our microphones are working. We're probably coming in a little bit hot, but I'd rather be a little too loud. Hey, everybody, how are you? Oh my gosh, look at all of you.
It's me.
I'm going to tell the story because it's a little different than what she just said. Because
we're all different.
I do believe that bunny rabbit was identified and captured with these two hands at the softball field.
Yeah.
Right?
I think there was a family. You broke it up.
I broke it. For the record, the only one I did. The only family. And if I recall correctly, wasn't one of them injured because the lawnmower ran over it at the field?
You told all sorts of stories about it, but you came home all proud. I got Nat a bunny.
I'm a caring brother. I thought, what else could she possibly need but a bunny rabbit? Because you had everything. You had an older brother that was just, talking to dead people and just being weird.
2 loving parents, a sister, a
Did
cat.
you just air quote that? Did you just 2 loving parents? By the way, I just sent Dad a text and told him to turn. Did I tell you what I did?
Which time?
So, his gift this year was a big giant TV.
Yeah.
So, you were saving the world or some shit like that, right?
Busy.
So we had to put in some credentials just to get it working, like TikTok, the game's on, right? So I put in all of my credentials, I get everything up and rolling, and then I realized we have to get through my YouTube. So now when they open YouTube, it goes right to my channel and plays whatever video I just did.
No, that's not a bad.
Well, I don't think you can do anything else until the video ends.
No, about that. Real world problems.
Nate and Terry are arguing over. He's my favorite.
Jesus Christ!
I don't really think she. And does Mom swear? Did Mom swear when we were growing up? Because I don't remember
Yes.
her. Did she?
Dad never.
Dad never. He wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful.
Mom would drop the F-bomb every time he wasn't around. Gonna fucking Mom always dropped the F-bomb. Dad never. So the 3 times he has in my life, I've listened.
Oh yeah. Well, it's an impact, right?
Yeah.
It's an impact. No, Dad's trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I'm sure one of us have to
We're going to get a text.
share passcodes.
We're going to get a text.
There's no way it's happening
By the way,
independently.
there's 2 siblings. And by the way, the other sister isn't here right now.
Watching our children.
Yours.
Oh, all of ours.
Asshole. So it,
in her defense,
she would be here, but we forgot about her again.
The third child.
It's kind of like that one.
The middle child, they always say, is like the forgotten one.
Are you really forgotten?
Mm-mm.
I don't think you were forgotten at all.
No,
and now you're their healthcare proxy, so now they really remember you. Did we just freeze up?
Yeah,
we
did this.
Great. Yeah, there you go.
Just pause.
Oh my God! You know what?
That was a fake freeze.
You know what I have to do? Let's
to tell.
Like, by the way, that's your chart. We'll look at that later. But by the way, I'm going to explain to you why it is I'm the best brother in the world. So when you look at like friendships, there's one picture that shows up, and I should really, no, where am I doing this? It's about, and then you say between the 2 of you. I forget how to do this. But there's one picture that's just hysterical.
Oh, of me running you over?
Yes!
That's classic.
That is so funny. It's like, it's the best picture on the face of the planet. I so have to find that. That's a show-stopping.
Well, just look at your birthday. I usually post it every year.
On my birthday?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was in a little scooter in Vegas for reasons.
Oh no, we got to show the. We got to show the 2 here. Yeah, and how many names does Chandra have?
Just 2.
Just 2.
Just 2.
It's a bit of a flight risk.
Well, about that.
Albums. Oh my God, I gotta find this picture. I totally meant to show this picture. It's actually half the reason why you're wrong.
Oh, half.
Yeah, well, give or take. I mean, this is kind of a snapshot. Oh my God, I should totally just make this into a like a.
This isn't the said picture, but it's another goodie.
I mean, we're a couple of good-looking kids, really.
Yeah, blonde hair, blue eye. Well, this one. This one went
sounds
brown
like
to gray.
Voting.
Too bad those days are over.
Too bad those. There we go. That was terrible, Brandon. I can't believe you just said that out loud. But let's be honest, we're a little hesitant to the rest of it. I will avoid that kind of thing right there.
Yeah, but if you're gonna share that picture, you need to share. No, the plate is there. Where's
the plate? Where's the plate?
Right
my God!
Oh, the plate.
This was like such our family trauma. This is our family trauma right now. This is we'll get there to it. Yeah. And Chandra's representative. I mean, we're not intentionally leaving her out. Like, I mean, a little bit.
No.
And let's be honest, she never pays.
She never pays.
She like never pays for anything on a group trip. Am I wrong? Accurate.
I don't pay a lot.
Well, you can pay tonight. See, but you're a tax write-off. You're more than my sister. You're a tax write-off tonight.
Well, that was the intention.
You were just like...
When I left New Hampshire this morning, I thought, I'm a tax write-off.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
So what do you do now? I mean, you're a nurse, but you are more than a nurse.
Oh,
Like,
the
you're,
prostitution gig?
yeah, your business. I thought you said you never saw one. What is the? But you like, well, you were telling me about how unique it is. Like, you're really kind of like, I mean, basically, what you explained to me is like you're a nurse in a Hallmark movie.
I am a nurse for a local town, but
Hallmark.
I work under a bigger corporation, but essentially my jurisdiction went from 90 miles to 10. And yeah, so I
So
do.
you have to like know everybody on your route.
Well, yeah, that's easy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it could be 20 to 30 people depending, but like that's how I got to know the town 15 years ago, 17 years ago.
So you're not moving back?
No, there's too many flipping people here. Let's start with that.
There's too many people here.
Yes.
So how many people are in your town?
Well, it doubles incrementally every summer, but like at the end of the day, like just to go to the grocery store, I don't need to dodge 500 people to go get some milk.
So you've lost your edge too, on top of everything else.
No. My
Yeah, I'm starting
tolerance,
to be worried about that, actually.
tolerance.
Well, no, that's a problem. Like, those are life skills that you learn.
Oh, I got them. I went through East Greenbush, Walmarties, as Nate would say. I went and I survived, but I'm not doing it voluntarily.
Well, okay.
There's that picture.
So I know. I'm totally, now I'm going to upload it.
Yeah.
But isn't there, so I'm not going to ask you to compare, but like growing up, being like parochial here, like we were in one house until we had to go take care of Nana, which kind of set you on this path, by the way, right?
Could have been Nana, could have been my broken hip. Who did that? Who asked her to come?
I don't know if you know this or not, but I watch myself to sleep. I know. But like, wasn't there some like the caregiving thing was how you really got into nursing, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that. Brian.
Well, no, you remember when Nana's eyeglasses, she had fallen and her eyeglass went up under her eyebrow?
Oh, she got fucked up.
Yeah, she got wicked fucked up. And then it was like, oh, what do we do? Like, I imagine like dealing with mom and dad this way too. Like like as kids, we were like, whatever. So I just went to Nana's aid and was like, and she was like, can I have a Kotex?
Did you seriously seal her up with a Kotex?
No, I didn't even know what it was when she asked. But she was bleeding.
Why does Nana have a tampon under her left eye? It's a trend, and we all started wearing it. We were like,
Oh, she knew she was bleeding. She needed to stop.
Nana asked for the Kotex.
She did.
Who asked for the Kotex?
Nana.
No, she did.
Ruth Timpain asked for the Kotex.
Like, as in, like, oh,
I'm bleeding.
Clearly, I'm springing leaks everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used a Kotex for anything, but
good for you, white male.
So, what is 1984 to you? Because this is the penny that you found.
84? I wasn't 10 yet. That wasn't the year I broke my hip.
No. But then you were minus the one, carry the whatever. So you were 8.
We moved to Nana's house.
Is that? Yeah. There it is. There's Nana saying hi.
Hi, Nana.
Get her a Kotex.
She says that a lot. She does.
Does she?
Yeah.
Do you see signs from her?
Not outward, but like I found myself telling a story about Harvey Ballbagger's a reckless driver. Who the fuck does that?
My grandmother was the worst joke teller ever. Where like, I mean, you live and you grow. You know, dad's jokes were like, that was funny. We didn't know what funny, like, because we had my grandmother, Nana, telling us jokes that weren't really all that funny.
She would chase after the car, screaming, "Harvey Wallbanger's a reckless driver," and we would roll down the windows and say, "So are you."
Oh, did we mention she was an alcoholic?
Well, she would have her heart ball. What was that? I was wondering that earlier.
Well, and remember, like when we moved in, the first thing was like swear her off of alcohol, and the doctor just was like,
"Who cares?
You can't. Like, this isn't." She's 73.
No, but I remember she was still smoking demented.
She was smoking menthols.
She was smoking, and she couldn't even like complete a sentence.
Yeah, she would talk like this, right?
That's
remember,
right?
remember?
But like,
she would just like whatever. She didn't actually take a drag. She just let it burn down to her
at a
fingertips.
ripe age, I remember lighting a cigarette for my nana.
You were a full scale health provider, aren't you?
Yeah, I was like, all right, Mom said to light the cigarette. I'm gonna light the cigarette. I don't know.
So
suck, Nana, suck. With that big, can't you picture it?
Oh, totally. And then her trying to like maintain, and then she'd be like, "Where's my vodka? Where's my gin?" And she was a big ginger. Oh, I remember. Do you remember when we first moved in? I've told this story. When we first moved in, they had to clean out the garage because there were all of these Beefeater bottles stacked up at the end of the garage.
Empty?
Oh, all empty. Like, we're talking,
I don't remember.
I mean, there was easily 200 of them.
She didn't recycle? Is that the point?
She didn't recycle. That's really what I'm getting at. Like, she was horrible for the environment.
Apparently.
She was absolutely horrible for the environment.
Huh.
And she had a, remember we had one aide, Julie, who was just hysterical?
Yeah.
She was a prankster, but she was really kind-hearted.
Yeah.
And, you know, life had its way with her in one way or another, but she was always nice.
Yeah.
Like, she was always nice.
But she was also like, so Nana at one point in time needed to be strapped to the bed for safety reasons. I can still picture the soft restraint.
For us, it happened at 12.
Yeah. No. But so one time Julie strapped me to the bed with the soft restraint.
You?
Yes. And gave me lactulose. Because Nana didn't poop, so
She gave it to you instead?
No, it was just razzing me, you know what I mean? But like, I was like, I'm tied to this bed, and yeah, that's how jokester Julie was.
I think she just stole my clothes when I was in the shower. Do you remember those?
Oh no, that wasn't Julie. That was your friend, Dean.
No, he wasn't my friend.
Brian.
He wasn't my friend, but yeah,
they were there, and they were the one razzing them all on. And that's the reason why he woke up.
I thought Julie orchestrated that.
Oh, I'm sure she was behind it. But...
Now I don't want her to strap me to the bed.
Well,
right.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I know. You have like a whole life. You're like, she drops the kids off at Chandra's house and goes off to an entirely different lifestyle.
Not anymore.
But when she offered to pay, it was nothing but ones.
No.
No. There were hundreds.
No. You just went from 0 to 60.
As per usual. Always, all the time. But it's also, it's also like memories like this where it's like, do you, like, I don't, as we just finished a little sangria, I don't drink. Like, I just can't stand it. Like, I just don't, like, yeah, it's a holiday, is tomorrow, I had the day off, stuff like that. But like, I just don't do that. And
I have naturally rosy
off the
cheeks.
Reservation. What's that?
I have naturally rosy cheeks.
No need for makeup. I would be, as they say, pretty okay. But we have to do a red hot update because much of the crew here, and by the way, hey Sprout, CC, Catherine, how are you? Aloha, mahalo. Kathy, how are you? Let's see, we saw Paula, Lady Ann, Kathleen, Connie, good to see you. I knew that was going to work out for you. Donna, Joanne, Nicole,
Anybody I know?
Donna, you know none of these people. They don't
Okay.
really care. You don't have a page like mine.
I don't have a page like yours.
Yeah, you don't.
I got a different fans only page.
Time, everybody. We have a similar sense of humor. Do you do feet?
No.
Hey, Julie R. Kim Hebert. Love you.
I mean, do what to feet?
Just show them.
Clip
you don't have
them?
to do much. You just wiggle your toes.
Yeah, I got
Or
some.
in my case, I wiggle a toe.
Toe? That's all you got left?
You'll never know.
I missed counting.
What's that?
I missed the counting. I don't know.
Counting.
I don't know.
Yeah. I get there first. Colleen, how are you? Jess, good to see you. Steffi, Linda, Disney Girl, thank you guys for tuning in. Trish, good to see you. Melissa, I'm going way back here to the beginning of all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in, hanging out. Sorry we were a little bit late, but they wouldn't bring us the bill back. Rita, good to see you. Debbie, Black Bell, I knew you were going to tune in tonight. Black Bell. By the way, Black Belt, you have to follow up on Monday for everything you've done so far. Nicole, Michelle, good to see you guys. Awesome sauce. So if you ever wanted to ask my sibling a crazy question about me, there's some rules. You can... Oh, Dad's on.
Hey, Nate.
Dad just went to Facebook. Dad, listen, I appreciate that you're watching, but you're not good for the algorithm.
Well,
so I'm going to tell you what happened. Dad pulled it up on the TV, saw the two of us talking, and saw us talking about Nana, and switched over to Facebook so he could put his earphones on.
Maybe. Doesn't mean, yeah.
So, yeah, Catherine wants to know your OnlyFans handle. You've got an admirer.
I got lots.
I
got lots.
You got lots?
Yeah,
all right. That's kind of fair. So if you have a question for Natalie about what it's like, I don't know, whatever. Whatever this is, whatever I am, wherever it is we're going. I bring up sometimes Ginny. Joanne, are you raising your hand? Joanne's raising her hand like as in like, oh, I have a question.
When's bedtime?
When's bedtime for Bonzo? You can tell Natalie's threshold for like, okay, Dad, that's cool. So
hold on. Kim Lee Little Corner. I can't really see. When was the last time? When was the first time?
Oh yeah, when did I come out to you?
Oh, like yesterday. He came out about the same time I came out.
Yeah, true story.
I was gay, a little more acceptable.
Yeah, right, it was. It really was. She's like, I'm gay. And I go, I see dead people. And you're like, you're always fucking one-upping me.
Pretty much. 20 years.
Yeah, I retell the story in the book about how I like shouted out what each one of the gifts were. And you were just like, I don't remember it like that. But you did know. You just thought I like it looked, right?
I don't know.
But like every single time you go to open something, I'd be like, oh, there's your Cabbage Patch.
Yes, you did do that. Well, we also opened the gifts upstairs.
You did what?
We went upstairs to the attic and I opened them. I don't know if you were with me.
I didn't though. I didn't, but I had no problem shouting that out.
I don't think I was alone in that mission.
I think it was Chandra. We
would open them and then we would tape them back up.
Tape them back up again. Dad is watching. Like he's heartbroken now. He's going to disown one of us.
Well, he didn't put them there. Mom did.
Yeah, so it's Mom's fault.
Not Mom's fault, but her disappointment.
The disappointed, really?
Well, whatever. The whole scam of Christmas, like Santa, like we're lying to our children. Like,
right?
How is that okay?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny. I just did a podcast today and we ended up talking about like the great Christmas lie. And I actually did a video that I think I'm going to redo and kind of re-up a little bit. That actually talks about the Christmas star, how everything's astrological, how everything religious is actually astrological. He didn't die on a cross. He died on the Southern Cross, which is the sun rising to a certain place, all that stuff. And how Jupiter and Saturn getting together was the great star. That was the star that drove everybody. Are you asleep?
No.
All right.
I'm listening.
Okay, she's listening. And then it becomes a, that whole kind of dialogue. Well, like for us, though, to me, I loved Christmas Eve. And part of it was the anticipation, but part of it was the atmosphere. Like the dim lights, the candlelight mass, and
The ritual.
the
Ooh.
the baby goat that they'd sacrifice to.
That was.
That was a different church.
No,
that was
no,
a different. That
no.
was.
I didn't go there.
No, but I invited you. They were like, "What do you have to offer?" Well, I can read dead people, and they're like, "You've got to do better than that."
I can help people.
I can help people.
Oh.
What are you helping people?
No goats.
But wasn't it also like going to church and stuff? Was it the anticipation of the Christmas? Because we actually went. Did we go to midnight mass?
No. Well, they would do midnight mass like
8:00.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when Chandra and I had our stupid big bows. You remember that?
I remember this.
It was so ridiculous. My mother would put my sister and I in the same damn outfit
to look like serial killers out of like
we had these.
What hotel are you haunting?
Bows.
Yep.
That were like tin foil. Could have connected to Mars, right?
And
we would just stood there.
Shannon Q.
Quinlan.
Oh, well, it was. Would also wear a big giant bow too.
Well, yeah, but we were in the altar gowns. We did it all. Yeah, and I fainted almost every Christmas.
Oh my gosh! So yeah, so you would get up there.
And the lights and everything
the lights
would bother
and the
me.
Candles and
all
the
of a sudden,
incense and
where's Nat? Yeah,
she falls over.
Off.
She falls over.
Yeah.
I mean, if they knew back then what they know right now, they might have sacrificed you. They were like, "Well, we got one."
I would always make it back before it actually fall down, but I couldn't see getting back there.
You always one upped everybody every Christmas with that. I remember in Easter.
Again,
was like that.
Same outfit. What the hell were you in? Nothing. You were probably naked. And two of us were sitting there in the same
I was naked in that church once or twice. Well, I wasn't. But it was one of those. It was one of those things that I remember, and everybody hated it. Everybody didn't like it. But back on the Christmas thing, the thing I loved was like I looked forward to the lighting and the light of the world and all that other stuff. Like I was always inspired by it. So like as I went through all of the the Candyland of this is bullshit, like I was like, oh my gosh, you mean to tell me that's only kind of half true, or that's just premise, that's not really facts, and that's not whatever.
Oh, you had thought of your own?
What's that?
You had thought of your own?
Yeah, like at an early age, I definitely did, because I also had like people that passed away. Like, don't forget, I mean, that was like a runway for the funeral. Yeah. So I would see residual stuff. I would feel stuff. I remember one person passed away, and she was on, probably the one time that like I really, like I kind of tried to come out. I don't remember how old I was, but you two were both in the car. And we were still in Cohoes, and I said out loud, this old woman, and I think her name was Edna. Like it was like a Miss Edna. Like she worked at the church, she worked at the library. She was somebody that like we all knew, and I'm like, she's gonna die. Like I just said it out loud. I was like, oh, she's not gonna make it. And everyone's just like, and Mom was just like, get him in the car. And I remember Dad
put him in the middle seat where there's no seatbelt.
Oh yeah, totally. Like that was my life. Like they had no problem risking my life. And then, but I remember Dad kind of turned to Mom and go, and he's kind of right. Like you look like hell. Like it was like he didn't say it like that, but he's like, he's kind of got a point. And she passed away that next week. Like she was going. Like I never saw her again, except for like feeling her another time. And I was in there, and I was just like, if this is who I think it is, like I hope I didn't kill you. And she was, oh no, I was old. But what was I going to say about did you like the one Christmas gift on Christmas Eve? Or did you think it was kind of hokey? Because to me, it was always self-serving.
Well, I feel like Mom and Dad like decided what we were doing,
Self-serving.
as I do to my child.
No,
you're opening those goddamn pajamas, because
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
We never got pajamas, though.
Where it was, no, but we would get things that were attached to the next day, right?
I don't remember that.
Right? And it was always like, and I remember Dad being like, just, this is your mom's like thing. Just do it. Like, there's other presents coming. Like, he would always say something like that. When did you know Santa wasn't a thing?
You don't remember?
Tell me. Like,
I was 18 years old, and I was like, I don't give a flying rat's ass that you all want me to not believe in Santa. I'm waking up Christmas morning and having a full.
I do remember that.
Yep, Loudville, and I was like, and they were like, well, we could have an adult Christmas if it wasn't for Natalie. And I was like, well, I'm going to be a child at heart.
I was 21, by the way, everybody.
The rest of my life.
I had shit to do.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah. And by the way, comment what age you flipped the script on believing in Santa Claus. Because I still struggle it with with the 11-year-old. Like, he was a hardcore, like, he just wants to believe right there. Like, he is all about it.
Well, it's about the spirit, right? It's about the spirit of Christmas. It doesn't matter who gets it or how it's delivered. Yes, it's great in the younger years to believe in a Santa Claus, but it's about the spirit of getting those special things and to acknowledge. And your sister and I have been talking about that a lot, because our kids are of age that are probably within the next year will transition, and it's going to be a lifesaver for me as a single mother. This goddamn elf thing, you can all go fly a kite about whoever invented that. That is a nightmare.
The elf is really what it's all about.
Right.
Them.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, like, she's going to believe, she has like this huge heart. She's going to like whatever. Oh. And it doesn't really matter where these gifts come from at the end of the day is what we're teaching. Right. It's about them acknowledging that there is some specialness,
something beyond this. Like, it is meant to be special. And I think it goes back to that spirit of things, and also kind of the thing of like, but I want to do this for you. I want to make sure that you have a gift. I want to make sure that it's there. I mean, I've really grown to appreciate, and as much as we're razzing our parents right now, our parents busted their ass. Yeah. Like, it was there. We didn't know poor. We didn't know, and I don't know if we were truly poor or not poor or whatever the deal is. But it was more of like, we always had good Christmases.
Did we rich with love.
Did we always get what we wanted? No. But there was bacon involved, and we quickly shifted
and
gears.
And the Otter Band Christmas.
Emmett Otter's.
Yeah.
There ain't no hole in the wash tub.
True story.
What else did you like with watching TV? I mean, this is before DVRs, and
right,
I think
but I, before we would go to bed, probably like a week before, we would plan out when the Emmett Otters would be on.
We were glued to that TV
and
guide.
We stole Nana's little light to see everything, like the Christmas gifts, whatever. We would sit there and watch the Emmett Otters.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
And we had some tape available in case we opened first.
And you almost gave up the ghost too, because I remember this. I do remember one year. And by the way, that was not the year where I kind of said, oh my gosh, here's what you're getting, whatever. This is when we were a little bit older, where it was just kind of like here I am, I'm thinking she like totally. So let me get this straight. You would literally go look at the presents and be like, still Santa.
I wanted the spirit of Santa.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You big dummy.
No, Natalie.
Jesus.
Natalie.
Jesus.
Natalie. No, I wanted the spirit, so I didn't care. I didn't care that I was supposed to not believe. I didn't care.
But it was also kind of like, when we, but the Emmett Otter and all of the Rankin Bass, the Frosty the Snowman, right? The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Don't forget Charlie Brown.
Oh, Charlie, look, dude, did you see this? Charlie, look.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got it right there, kid. And I got the Peanuts cards right here. There's the moon. There we go. And wasn't it? In what? Forget it. We're at Chandra's wedding, and Natalie comes up. Natalie comes up to me, and you were fakaka. You definitely had a couple on board, right? Yeah, like
Do tell.
It was a wedding.
What?
And this is Natalie. When I reenact this, you will get it. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to dance."
Yes. Yes.
Just like
no one else got it, I'm sure.
We're in the living room.
Is she teasing?
You're probably gonna leave single. It was like one of those things. I was like, oh, you're
probably.
Probably. How many days do I have to drink to get a girlfriend?
There, though.
What's that?
My ex-wife was there though, so
we had a designated ride or whatever. But isn't that also kind of part of the ritual? Like the whole ebb and flow of like, like, hey, we're going to watch this movie, we're going to watch whatever, and having a retail store in the family, they were working nights all the time. We had a cavalcade of, of like babysitters when we were younger. We had, we had the across the street neighbors, the Abdelners. That's a shout out to them. And then we would just have just people that everybody kind of knew.
I don't remember all that because I just thought Mom was home all day. But
yeah, Mom was home all day, but then she would have to work at night in the retail shop, and having a jewelry store that was like known for its holiday stuff, had the holiday windows, was on display.
And the bells.
What's that?
The bells.
Oh my gosh, the bells. That store sold more bells than it sold rings, which was the problem.
Well, because they sold them all to Mom and Dad.
Right? So it's almost like, but like, isn't that the ritual? Isn't that all part of it? What does Brinny do now that like you did when you were a kid and you're just like, oh, that's me?
Advent calendars.
Oh my gosh, did you?
We didn't have advent calendars though, did we?
Yeah, we did. Oh yeah, we did.
Like to open the
Nana
thing.
Or Ginny? Ginny used to.
Yeah.
So some of you have heard me talk about the influences around my Thanksgiving dinner table, and I haven't even gotten to the kids' table yet. We're going to talk about that here in a second, but we had this influence growing up, and she was a former mayor of the city of Cohoes. She was the first female mayor. She was balls on. She was like one of the kindest, nicest people you've ever
She rolled over in her grave this month.
This last 8 years. See? So, you look at like your root and those people that were close to the family. It was my mother's godmother, and you were her caretaker, right?
Yeah.
You were a caretaker a lot, with her in the leaning hours. And it was, and even still, like,
she paid me $12 an hour.
She paid you $12 an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a lot?
Well, I don't know, but she would not budge. Like if I was there for 2 hours and 45 minutes, it was
$12.
It was she prorated it. Like,
oh, okay. So she paid for the time.
Oh, 100%. But like there was no overage. There was no like, here, Nat, get yourself
yeah. So it was like you would be there for 2 hours. She wouldn't give you $30.
No.
That's so cheap.
No. 24. And if I sat there for 10 extra minutes, it would be $24.50. Like,
But though, that was the way she was.
Yep.
What was right.
Yep.
And that was her and her husband broke away from the Democratic Party because of the Democratic machine in Albany and all that other good stuff. So they were definitely left of center, but they were super conservative financially. Like they were probably more libertarian, and they were part of this what is known as a Citizens Party. And I've actually done some research on that to see if that party still existed, because I was like, if I ever did something, that's how I would do it. Like I would totally do it to honor Jenny, because like you said, she's rolling over in her grave. But don't you think though that she would have, I mean, it would be an obvious take with where she would be if she was very much, she was about power to the people. Like she was genuinely power to the people. And forgive me if you've heard me tell this story before. The things that were impressive about Jenny and the things that she got shit in the press for, when her husband took over, she was the one that was kind of like pushing him to be like, we need to be more progressive with this. We need to be more accessible and that sort of thing.
The woman behind the man.
Well, but then when he passed away, and she was a resounding, she got voted in by the Common Council, and then she was voted in by the popular vote. No skip steps here. And she was
always by the book.
Do you know what her first thing was when she was elected? Was she got rid of all the sunset laws. Do you know what the sunset laws are? If you're black, you have to leave the town. You can't own property. You can't own whatever. So before she was the mayor, you couldn't, if you were a minority, you could not own property in the city of Cohoes. That was the first thing she got rid of. She was smart. Mm-hmm. Like she still played a political game. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm going to get elected. And by the way, that was also part of the reason why she lost to the next mayor, who's Canestrari, who was much more of like the Democrat Party has cleaned itself up and we need a voice.
But she was the mayor of 76.
She was the bicentennial year. Remember that stuff? Do you remember? Were you in the parade?
That was the parade. That was the year I was born.
We'll get to your
jackass.
astrology here in a second. Yeah, you were. So how old were you? Oh yeah, you would have been like
negative
a month and a half
at the parade.
At 42 days,
I was already making.
At 42 days, she was voted the most popular and gorgeous little baby you've ever seen.
Choo!
She had blonde hair and blue eyes, and the future.
No, I had no hair.
I don't know how I'm so lucky, but here we are. I came out with like a head of hair.
Mailman.
Head of hair.
Mailman.
So well, let's go to the tape.
Tape.
And when I say tape, well, I don't know. There's a three of us. Look at us. By the way, we don't look anything alike. Somebody tell Chandra she's becoming famous right now.
Who? Sure.
No, not really. But there's us. Okay, so we have to tell the story of this plate.
Yeah, please tell me, because I don't know.
This plate, this is like pre-Photoshop.
Like it was something free, right, Mom?
It was free. It was definitely free. But it was a promotion through our store, Tim Payne's Jewelers. And I remember we had to go and get our picture taken at it was in Olin Mills.
Olin Mills.
It was Olin freaking Mills. Yeah. So whenever I make fun of people on their Olin Mills picture, this one's mine. And
I'm the cute one.
You're the... Well, you definitely came back. So and I remember we were all, the original picture is us like this. Do you remember that?
No,
lean in. It was this. Like we were, and they were like, we need to make this a little
serious,
more subdued.
Why so serious?
Do you remember why? I was missing my front tooth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I slipped and fell in the bathtub.
I don't remember that about you.
Oh yeah, ask Dad. It's a funny story. Because it was like one of the first showers I had, and Dad was like facilitating, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go jump. Spit out a tooth. Huh. So I had this big freaking space, and I don't know if it was the company that didn't like it because they didn't want their picture displayed, like as in like, who's this ugly, toothless, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they had to change it. Well, they did this miracle thing where we were we were subdued, where we weren't smiling. Chandra looks like she's an orphan. Like she looks like she's a telethon. You know, you look like you're like modeling. Like they should have just put earrings on you.
Yeah.
And I look like a poet, like that's like destitute.
And look how straight across my bangs are. Someone used a ruler.
Oh, that was definitely part of it too. You know, and of course I would get my hair cut, and mom would say, "Yeah, somebody just called you a queen." Look at that, to have a professional. Way to go, Trish. Right, where they didn't smile. But this, and come to find out, it's funny you should say that, Vivian, because it was the same technique that they would use with those old-timey pictures with the sepia.
Yeah.
Like, remember that? We had one done like it. I remember we had it with like Butchie.
Yes.
Lori,
yeah.
And Lynn.
Yep.
And like it was like all of us, and we were like the babies in it. I
black
had
and white.
No idea.
Yeah.
Well, it was almost like black and white, but sepia. Like they were trying to make it look like old.
Yeah.
But they took the smile off your face, right? Oh my gosh. That's so funny. And look at this. This was
the reincarnation, but we're in the wrong place.
Lean in.
No, hold on.
Listen,
like
how you know, for me, when I look at me in this picture, I think heaven isn't too far away.
Heaven isn't too far.
I'm ready for cherry pie.
Yeah.
When I see yours, I almost kind of get the like, you know, like you got a skater friend somewhere waiting for you, and this dress is just uncomfortable.
Pretty much.
Was that pretty accurate?
Pretty much.
And then Chandra's just like, I'm gonna be the cutesy one, and I'm gonna be like we all kind of had our like 80s.
Yeah.
This was probably what, 90, 91?
At least.
Was it though?
I graduated 94. It was way before I graduated high school.
Yeah, so probably 91, 92.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
but again, this was a free Owen Mills.
Probably.
Or JCPenney's or whatever.
Yeah, I think this was...
There weren't copies of this. There was one copy.
So here's the world famous picture. Yeah. This was what, my 40th?
Must have been.
Was it my 40th? No, it wasn't 40th. It was my 40th or my 35th?
No, I think it was...
No, it was my 35th.
Why would we go to Vegas for your 35th?
Why wouldn't we go to Vegas on my 35th?
We look damn good, though.
That was just a hysterical.
Yeah.
So that was in the
lobby of the
Fitzgerald Hotel or something.
Yeah. And it was just sitting there, and I don't even think we could work it. But I was like, Brandon, stand in front of me and let's take a picture. I don't think it actually ran.
And we got in so much trouble.
Yeah,
the security guys coming over. Yeah. Somebody give me the key. You remember that guy? He was like all like Beefcake Lewis about it.
And I was like,
hey,
what?
I go, yeah, get off of that, you drunk monkey. You know, and it was
Meanwhile,
funny.
we just gotten there.
Oh my God. And
it was just a photo shoot.
He stepped off of it and he said, somebody promised me a buffet.
Me?
Yes. You were like, somebody promised me a buffet.
Oh, right. Because, oh. All
right, Horseshack. Oh.
This one here is the queen of...
The queen?
The queen.
I mean, thanks.
Okay. The best story is when... So my mother loves to sing. She's not good at it, but she sings loud. And at church one time, Brandon turned to me and said,
I love this story.
I'll give you a candy bar if you sing real loud. And so I start singing.
The candy bar, and I'm like,
I don't know that I saw the candy bar.
Oh, yeah.
In his mind, he saw it.
It was like half
But
melted.
then the more I was like, and he was like, king size. And I was like,
yelled in this key of miserable. Mom does one of these. She's
yeah, I'm my mother's daughter.
You wouldn't sing.
I was like, king size, Nat, king size. And he was like in my ear, Baby Ruth, Musketeer, Frenchie, whatever you want, king size. And I was like, where the fuck was my king size bar, man?
I'll get you on the way home. Like, pay dividends. I'll get you.
I don't need it now.
Yeah, I want to say that, but you can.
Yeah,
and then
king size.
Well,
Nat,
and I remember.
size.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I think I made good on it, because when we were leaving, I said, "Can we stop at LePage's, that corner store?"
Oh,
and then Dad's like, "Why?" And I go, "You didn't hear Natalie?" He goes, "I thought you stepped on her."
king size, Nat.
King size. I'll get you the king size.
size.
Can I offer you a king size crunch bar or something?
I did it. I did it.
You did. I
did.
never thought you would have done that.
I did it.
I never thought that you would have liked.
I'm a good wing woman too.
Yeah, right. Well, it's kind of funny. So, my gosh, are you having fun with this?
Me?
You want to talk about astrology? Because there's something really cool about your astrology.
Cool.
I'm her brother.
I'm her sister. Her sister.
That's cool about your astrology.
I have 2 sisters. It's time for you to come out again, Brandon.
Who's your favorite sister, her or me? Listen, I'm not above it. Why do you think I'm growing my hair? I'm getting ready for surgery.
I was wondering.
Listen.
Top first?
I don't discriminate for a whole host of reasons. Not the least of which is I don't dislike myself.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fun. I still think too, like even when, like I always joke around, and I always say, I say it out loud. I'm like, hey, my parents won the lottery.
After me,
they got it. Well, no, I mean they really hit the lottery. It was, they got a psychic, a lesbian,
nurse,
and an adopted what? Oh, you'd rather be known as a nurse now?
Nurse lesbian would be fine.
Nurse lesbian.
If you could bow.
What do you nurse if you're a nurse lesbian? Like, what is that? Does that have anything to do? Does one qualification help the other?
Well, my lesbianism does not help my parents. My nursing skills
right.
does.
Well, somebody's
touche.
watching. But isn't it funny though that like the family you get thrown into, like for me. Listen, I'll say it. I voted for you as much as I was voting for me. Because I didn't want the current situation. I didn't want Ginny to have to roll over. I didn't want to have to, have you explain anything.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so to me, that was part of the influence in all of this. And it's a good thing. Yeah. It's a good thing. And when you look back and you reminisce and you have holidays and that sort of thing, it's kind of fun. Before we go to the chart, and we'll make the chart quick, but it's fun. What about actual Thanksgivings at Nana's house with Russell?
Hold on, you gotta tell the story about Ed.
You mean our parents' propensity to invite everybody to Thanksgiving?
Well, yeah. So we had this guy from Dad's work. And my brother has always had a hearing deficit.
Metallica 1988.
And my dad introduced this guy, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon heard, meet Ed. Meathead. Oh, this guy's name is Meathead? So all night we were all just cracking up over Meathead.
I kept calling him Meathead. I thought it was like a nickname. Like, oh, all right. Well, who am I to judge? Hey,
the guy was probably homeless. That was probably his last meal. Who knows?
Really? Well,
Meathead.
Let's be honest. Mom's cooking and the Last Supper kind of go hand in hand. But I'm kidding, Mom.
Mostly. No, I mean, it was all fine.
But calling him Meathead. But didn't he also have somebody else who was like wayward that ended up at our...
Always. I feel like we had the priest at our dinner table. We had it all.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely Mom's kiss ass phase when she was on the council, I think, right?
Whatever. I would do the same thing. Do you need dinner?
You are
to my house.
You are not on a council at a church.
No. True story. True story. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed, but I'm not.
What church would you go to? What's Meathead's head? Nicole, that is the comment of the year. That's funny. Yeah, Chandra's claim to fame is...
no one asked.
Yeah, no one asked. See, if I say it, I'm cruel. When she
Well,
says it,
no
it's
one
freaking
asked.
hysterical.
Well, no, because you're bringing Chandra into this. I don't know. She could speak for her damn self.
Well,
Although we
she's
tormented
a caregiver.
her.
Yeah, she does. She works with.
How about the time you blew up her ball? You stood there and you said, Chandra, I'll just keep on blowing this ball up till it's nice and full. Pow! Or how about the time you had me lure her into the middle of the street on 2nd Street and you came up behind her and pulled her pants down?
Because she was making fun of everybody, right?
Yes, she was doing something a third child would do.
She was being a bully.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
Our
you had
sister
me
that is 6 and 3 years younger than us
lower
was being a bully.
her in, and then all of a sudden, pantster. Well, years of therapy one of us should have paid for.
How did we survive?
We did fine.
How did we survive? Her. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
But Thanksgiving, okay? What song do you associate Thanksgiving with?
Alice's Restaurant. And she just died.
I know. I just heard that. Like she was what, 82, 83?
83. Yeah.
Yeah.
She called me last week.
Did she? Well, she contacted me today.
Yeah. Well. Touche. Touche.
Hey, everybody. It's a medium joke. Thank you very much. She called you last week. Like, was she a client of yours?
No. But,
no, shithead. No, you fucking moron. Like, I'll
just like she didn't really fucking call you. There's no real ring-a-dings here.
Well, I don't know. There's been moments. If Arlo called, then maybe she would come through. But
yeah, our Alice's Restaurant.
You can get anything you want.
Yeah. So I said to my father,
because we had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat.
Yeah. But my favorite line of that entire song is
kill. No.
Officer, I cannot lie. I put that envelope
underneath
my mail underneath that pile of trash.
That's funny. Have you ever gone to
Alice's Restaurant? It's been closed for 10 years.
No, but to his to Arlo Guthrie's church. He owns a church now.
No.
So I was booked to do a show there.
That'd be cool.
With the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit and I had to cancel it.
Motherfucker.
True story.
Where is it?
True story. It's in Great Barrington.
Vermont?
Or Massachusetts.
Well, there's a lot of Great Barringtons. Okay.
Yeah. Should I do a show there?
Yeah. I'll meet you there.
Would you?
Would I?
When was the last time you saw my show?
When was the last time you saw mine? Saw mine.
I am subscriber number 421 and I love your feed.
Okay.
What? Oh, you didn't know I was on your OnlyFans? Have you ever seen me do a gallery though? No, I don't think you have.
You're gonna do OnlyFans and then gallery? Like what are we talking?
I'm talking about you doing the OnlyFans, but you've never seen me like actually do this though.
Oh, I've seen this.
Right?
I get the gist. Have I been in the same room? No.
That'd be like me being like, I get medicine. I get what you do. You just pull the plug, right? Is that what you do?
Yeah. Wish it was that easy.
No. I know.
Well, I get what you do. You just think and have these ideas.
and they all stick like spaghetti, right?
I get it.
Oh my gosh. So I'll totally do that. And actually, I should probably turn it, that was right. So everything with the TV show to be at Great Barrington was actually supposed to be part of the TV show because I wanted it to be like an inlay of like places that still kind of created a community and had a way of thinking and kind of was a peaceful vibe and everything else. And Arlo still does it. I think his daughter runs it. And I think I ended up having a conversation with her when everything happened with the pandemic. I said, listen, we're not going to be able to pull this off. And we had to get, filming permissions from the city and all this other stuff. And I said, how is that going to go? Like, can we just carry that over when we reschedule or whatever? And she's like, I have no idea.
We have no idea. I remember the day the pandemic occurred and I was like, I'm going to get my garage fixed. oh no, I can't let you in, strange man who just works on electricity. Like, we didn't know the first days of the pandemic how it was going to look.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're I remember that because you were doing a lot of like you do in-home care, so like when you like had to
We didn't
mask
stop.
up and all the
We didn't stop.
wow, that sucks.
We didn't stop.
Yeah, that was crazy. But what about when we were younger? When
The first pandemic? My kid
in
asked that all
in
the time.
1919? Is that the
No,
one?
I think it might have been the time we had chicken pox and mom just threw us all in the same room.
Was that,
That's what happened in the 80s.
That's so like it looks like scurvy. Throw him into the galley. Like be like, let them figure it out.
Yeah. That's all good.
No, but I mean, do you remember everything with Russell and Rachel and Cricket for that matter, where we'd like wrestle on the bed
and one of the younger girls, either Cricket or Chandra, would cry, and then we
just keep going.
Half of us would be delegated to keep them quiet, and the rest of them would fight. And I would always,
Now you're such a Gemini.
Hold on. Let me go get you more cookies.
Like,
we can't have cookies in Nana's room.
Who wants more? Yeah,
just shut up. That's right. Just shut up. Just shut up.
We can't have. No, we were in the spare bedroom. We were actually in the bedroom where
my room.
Russ, what became your room? Yeah, where Kathy and Russ, they would stay when they would come in.
There was no reason there wasn't blood or guts. We would just,
but it was just so fun, and we would laugh about it. And we would just make jokes, and then we call each other Harvey Wallbangers. Somebody get thrown into the wall.
Yeah.
But it wasn't violent. Like that's the whole thing. As much as are you talking behind my back right now?
It was violent.
It wasn't violent. It was play violent.
But my cousin Russell would pick every last one of us up over his head and smash us down. He controlled the environment for us, but it wasn't dollies and pretty princesses.
But we had fun though. It was so much fun. And then but then years later, like even in my mind, and Russell's 5 years older than I am, 4 years older. Even in my mind, and not that we didn't see each other, not that we weren't, I mean, he was in my wedding, and I would visit him. Like, it's not like we didn't see each other. But I remember it was when you had moved to New Hampshire, and we had like a get together of everybody. And Russell wanted to meet the boys, and Bryn wasn't here yet, but the boys were. And he came to see us, and when he came up to hear on me, and I looked over at him, and I'm like, "Oh,
Russell?
Yeah, he's not. I'm like significantly taller than he is."
So
in your mind's eye, though, you're like he's like a giant, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes up to me, and I'm like, "Hey," and he goes, "How you doing?" And I'm like, like, were you the one that was like
wrestling?
Like
he was very muscular.
Oh, he was built like a brick shit house, but that wasn't the point. It was just in my mind, though, he was this colossus. He was this whatever. Speaking of the Colossus, what is the number one movie that we quote?
Oh, Princess Bride.
Yeah, 100%. You were supposed to be this Colossus,
this big giant, inconceivable.
Like without a doubt, like it comes in without whatever.
I use this reference all the time.
Which one?
ROUSs.
Which one?
No. We know the secrets of the fire swamp. You know what I mean? So patients are like diagnosed with this and like whatever. Let's say chemotherapy. They're like, this is how they're going through. I was like, well, we know the secrets of the fire swamp, right? We do.
Have you ever? How many patients have you told that you live in the fire swamp? Because they always want personal information, right?
No. I usually have to throw it out there, watch their response, and then 90% they don't get it, and I'm like, oh, okay, we'll move on. But we've already been down here, right? We know this. We know you're gonna. We know this is gonna happen.
We know there's gonna be rodents of unusual size.
Exactly. The ROUSs, we got it.
What about it? How many times have you used Princess Bride euphemisms to like skirt the thing?
Oh, probably like every other day.
Like when they're like, "Oh, who are you together with?" Or "Who is your dear sweet Wesley?" And you're like, "My buttercup."
No.
Not like that.
No. Inconceivable.
Right. I only dog paddle. Like every single time all the kids are at the pool. And then they're like, "Come on in." And I'm like, "We only dog paddle."
Dog paddle.
And then they sit there and they go, "What?
What? ROUSs?
No. Do you think? Oh, have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It'll take a miracle.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
My 9-year-old daughter has that down.
Mm-hmm.
Timing wise,
well,
we're working.
It was so. Yeah, I don't think you were there. Mom and Dad were there, but at the first wedding I ever performed, it was Scott, and I opened up. It came out. Marriage is what brings us together today. Love,
blessed,
true love. Will help us live. And I'm saying this, and Mindy, who's an actress, like kept it together. Scott's doing this. It was like, and like somebody in the front row was like, "Is he okay?" Like somebody actually thought,
"You are the Brute
Squad. I'm with the Brute Squad.
The Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad." And like, I don't know how much like you'll watch of like the development of that show or of that movie and like the Rob Reiner take on it and all that other stuff. Like Billy Crystal was on for like 2 days. They had to do all of his Miracle Max stuff like in 2 days.
You didn't have a huge part, but
no, but I mean for 2 days for filming, I mean even that would have taken like a week because you got lighting, you got whatever. Like you got to get it right if you only got that kind of time squeeze. And half of his lines are ad-libbed.
Really?
Yeah, half of them are. And
last time I talked to him, he was okay.
Even that, you witch!
I'm not a witch.
That is Chandra, everybody. You're welcome.
Stop.
You're welcome. Yeah, so that was, I mean, even though it's not a holiday thing, it was certainly a growing up thing. What other movies would we have quoted before then?
There was a movie before that.
That's the perfect answer. That is so perfect.
My daughter's still not like sold on Princess Bride, but she'll get there.
Right?
She'll get there.
All right, Warrior Widow, I see you. But it's funny, the Eric and Xander will both, like whenever I quote it or I like refer a line to it or something, Eric will go, "Is that from Princess Bride?" Like he knows it, but he won't, like he doesn't know it like we knew it, right? And Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas would be another one that we would have like absolutely quoted all the way through, right? Oh yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights, that would come up. Monty Python's. Sorry, I'll get out of your way. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Stop saying that.
I don't think that means what you think it means. You only think I gave it away. Gosh, it's such a quotable movie.
Yeah.
Right? One of the other ones that I'll say too is we are men of action, lies do not become us.
Yeah.
I love that one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, inconceivable. There it is. And he would spit it. He would literally spit. Inconceivable. He was like fuckatash. All right. So you want to look at your chart? Have you ever done astrology before? Like you don't have any like crazy wacky like chicks near the sea that are like, "I'm a witch and I can tell you your future." We ought to go to Salem together.
Not that we're going to talk about.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, you ready for this one? I'm going to go to here. So, yeah, your chart, Natalie. Did you know you're a Gemini?
100%. Can't make up my mind for nothing.
Yeah. And then being into the 8th house would mean that you're going to be able to kind of manifest money. Like, not necessarily that you're rich, but it never really gets all that bad. Like, you can turn it around. Like, if it slumps a little bit, you can be like, oh yeah, I can do this, right?
Just did.
Yeah. Conjunct to Venus, which is why you're so good looking, but it's in the genes, let's be honest.
My genes. I don't know where you got yours.
I have nothing in my genes. Anyways, which is why you have two sisters. And then, although you do have a little bit, so are relationships like either the doom or the death of you?
Yeah.
Big time, because your seventh house is all relationship driven. And as a matter of fact, you have conjunct Mercury and Vesta, which is the learning and the communication, and it's centered right around the algal fixed star, which means that it could end up being like you might be a really good you could be somebody that might be able to like serve relationship papers like as a lawyer or something, but in your own life it'll be like, we got to hang it together, we got to keep it together. You might be the one that does all the work in those said relationships, but if it's true, Jupiter in your seventh house, like, you just knock it out of the park. So when it's good, it's really good, but you always have that chance of like that stumble, which isn't necessarily that uncommon for people, especially for Geminis. But the fact that you've got so much in your seventh house is like you're defined by those relationships. Do you like to travel though? Are you just absorbing me now?
No.
Because your Saturn is in the ninth house, which means you probably hate travel.
Why do you think I'm going home tomorrow?
Can you just put the stuffing in a bag and we can go?
I'm not even getting the stuffing. I don't care. I brought my kid. That's what y'all wanted.
Like, it's like a token of like, you've got a rubber head for good luck, 3 times a year. But no, having Saturn and Mars, two maleficent planets, in your ninth house, and Saturn at 29 degrees in Cancer makes you a homebody. Like, if you had your choice, you would never even get out of bed.
Might be guilty as charged.
Yeah,
I get out of bed, but
yeah, sure.
I like my safe places.
Gotta pee. Well, that makes sense too, because your moon is also in Cancer, which is also very much a homebody thing. And your intuition, like metric here, you've got 2 very cool placements for that. Very cool placements. So you have your rising is Scorpio, right? And your Uranus is conjunct to it, which would make you kind of like a skeptic savant. To be like, you are truly a walking funny. You should say that, because you would say things and be like, I really think you should get your gallbladder looked at. And then somebody would be like, I don't think anybody's ever said anything about a gallbladder. 2 days later, they're like, we got to have your gallbladder out. And you're like, well, it was a hunch. Like, do you do that often?
Yeah. Not often, but there's usually some medical information surrounding it. Of like I diagnosed this guy, 90-year-old guy. They were like, oh, it's impetigo. It's blah, 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 blah. I said, it's either shingles or herpes simplex. 4 days later, culture comes back, herpes simplex. 90-year-old man in the center of his back. What the fuck does that happen? It doesn't. Am I going to be censored?
No.
But no, like, I mean, give it my...
I always check not for kids.
Given my intuition versus my knowledge, whatever, but like, I'm pretty spot on. And
yeah, so walk me through that. Like, how do you proof your intuition in or out?
I don't question it.
Pay attention, everybody.
I don't question it. I'll just do it.
Have you ever been wrong? Have you ever been like, oh shit, I wish I did this, but I did that instead?
I wouldn't. I've never been totally out in left field, but I'll be like left of center.
Yeah.
So like I'm in the ballpark, but
it's like horseshoes and hand grenades in a way.
Yeah, no, and I just roll with it. And sometimes I'm even talking and I don't know where it's coming from. Like,
I think it's a gift. I totally think it's
we've talked about this before, especially when it comes to timing of life. Like, I'll all the time be like, so I have a patient load, I have to see X amount of people, and I'll call them up and I'll say, I'll see at 9 o'clock, I'll see at 10 o'clock, I'll see at whatever clock. And sometimes I'll be like, I plan on seeing them at 10, but then I say, 10:45 to 11, and something happens that delays me. That happens all the time. And I never question what comes out of my mouth, because I'm like, I don't know. Something is going to inhibit me from being there at the time that I'm going to say.
Well, and it's funny because, back on your chart, and this is where you and I are different, where I had to learn that. That was a very learned behavior, where you and I, our rising signs are actually opposite. Where I'm a Leo rising, you're an Aquarius rising. And what's funny is like our moon, this is insane. Huh. Mine and your Jupiter. Oh, no. Okay, that's me. Whew, I was like, wow, we have the same placement here. No, we don't. Hold on a second. Let me go back here, because that's Dad's. So I'm sorry, everybody. So being a Scorpio rising, I knew something wasn't going to work out there. But my rising is here would be in your 10th house. So like my rising is kind of like right in here in your 10th house. So have I been like advice for you for career? Have I been advice for you like, hey, practice, should I buy this house? Shouldn't I buy this house? And whether you ever took the advice or whether you ever sought it out, like that's how you would have viewed me. In your intuition, though, having a water sign as a rising side is going to give you that value system of, I have to trust my intuition, right? Because you're still touched with the 4th house being Pisces, and then the 8th house being in Cancer. Like you have Cancerian stuff here. And it's, you just have the natural inclination to it, but you have voids with it, which means that you don't have other things to act upon it. Like you don't have the moon in the 8th house. You don't have Venus in the 4th house, which are huge indicators of like psychic or intuitive ability, but you have all the baseline for it, which means exactly what I was saying. That's why I was asking, like, would you say out loud, like, oh, I think it's this, and then have it be true? You just gave confirmation on it. That's how you're built. And by the way, I would label you an introvert, but you're very comfortable with being an extrovert. You have a very weird chart, because you're introvert, like everything's above the line is considered like being extroverted, right? But you're not an extrovert.
I have to have the right audience.
Fair enough. Like on OnlyFans or something, right? But the lower half of the chart would be more, kind of closed off or a little more private or whatever. But you having Saturn at 29 degrees in Cancer in the 9th house means you don't want to leave for jack shit. Like ever. Mm-hmm. So whenever I give you like crap for like wanting to leave or not wanting to leave, like I should keep that in mind. Boy, I would have saved you a lot of grief. I used to make fun of you all the time, didn't I? For being a homebody. I never embarrassed you in front of the neighborhood, though. So this chart I thought was really fun. This
like we did our sister.
What's that?
Like we did our sister.
It was kind of fun. A little bit, whatever. By the way, she did not like the Red Hots. She doesn't even like them anymore.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. And her daughter doesn't like them either. No. She couldn't give them away.
No. It was very comical, though. And my daughter was like, "What is this?"
What did she say when you guys? Those of you that don't know the story, when we were kids, my mother would put out candy that was typically stale. So
no, it wasn't out though. It was in the cupboard, and he took the last hand. Like it was like one of those things where he was taking one or two, and I was like, "I want some," and he put the whole thing in his mouth, and then he turns to me. I was like, "But I wanted some," and he spit them all over my mouth, all over my face. And if there were phones, then we would have seen little dots of red all over my face.
Didn't Mom take you to the emergency room?
No.
She threatened it, though. At least I could have sworn she took you.
No.
But it was going to be $10, and we were going to spend money on that.
No. But no. So the we had a red hot tendency.
How Terry was that?
I did that to my kid not too long ago, and you know what? It's really effective.
Use a napkin.
Yeah.
Use a napkin.
But yeah, no. So he spit it all over. So it was cute. It was funny. It definitely got a chuckle out of both of us. But.
So when I remembered the story, and I told the story a couple of 3 or 4 weeks ago, I just, while I was sitting here, I pull up on Amazon. What's your home address? And you're like really, Christmas cards? Like seriously? Like this is
your wife knows.
Yeah, right. There you go. But then when you got them, you were like, "Oh, thanks a lot." What was her reaction?
Friends?
Yeah, what was her reaction? Was she just like,
what does this mean, Mom? Like, you have to understand, you can pull up her astrological whatever. Like, she is an old soul like I was. She definitely...
What does that mean?
She's wiser behind her 9 years.
Oh, stop. I'll do that in private because she's a minor. I don't want to put that
right,
one out there.
but she was like really intuitive to like, what does that mean? Blah blah blah. What does that say? Year on the date of birth is wrong.
I told you.
Mine?
No, Nate's.
47.
No, you said 46. And they said, "Are you sure?"
Anyhow, besides that, I'm perfect. I use that line a lot.
It's 47.
I just said that. Eyewitnesses.
That's the thing with this. You can make anybody like 12 years old. Anyways, for the sake of this, though, yeah, the date of birth is wrong.
The year, not the date. We celebrate 12/8 every year for almost 77 years. Not me. I've only been around for 48 of them.
Okay, so I'll throw the just for the sake of argument here.
Dad said yes. You are Nat. Yep.
So even with the 48 wrong, the placement of Dad's son is still pretty accurate. Like it's actually a degree off, but the placement would be exactly the same for everything else. But and that's really what I want to show. So for the sake of time, it's interesting that the three of us, if you follow the sun on Dad's, the sun on yours, you two are in opposition. You're at 11 degrees. Dad's at 15 degrees is with the corrected one, even though it says 16. So you two are in opposition of one another. Me over here at 11 degrees forms a trine of like pretty awesomeness. We're all mutables, right? Dad's a Sagittarius. You're a Gemini. I'm a Pisces. And it's just kind of cool to see that in relationship astrology, like how we kind of get along. And that's not to forsake, Chandra or Mom or anything else, but it's like where we fit together. Like that's, the three of us always have like an ongoing, is everybody okay?
My kid's asking that when I'm coming back. Never.
Tell her we're going to find some Red Hots. We're going to get Red. I'm going to send her Red Hots from now until the end of time. You know that, right?
Hopefully she acquires a taste.
What's that?
Hopefully she acquires a taste.
Well, it's not my problem. I just want you to have like bags and bags of them in the cabinet. But to me, it's always been interesting where it's like the three of us just have a similar approach. And this isn't to divide up, and it's not what's better than another. Mom and Chandra are both Aries. They're like within a week and a half of each other, right?
About that.
Yeah, about that. 8 days, 9 days.
You're only 20 days, 23 days from Mom.
Yeah, but what a world of difference.
I'm on my own little level.
But my point being is you could argue that Chandra and Mom have a lot of similar traits. Like, and again, it's just whatever they are.
Right.
And then you, me, and Dad have what?
Masculinity.
I have a brother and a sister.
Been meaning to tell you.
What's that?
Been meaning to tell you.
I don't need to know. I don't need to know. But No,
regardless, we all have humor.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, where the mutables tend to be just have a vibe, just have a coolness about ourselves, just being able to kind of like work it out, to be like, we'll just kind of take it as is. Like the three of us kind of have that, where Chandra and Mom will have the tendency of being like, I'm going to go fix that, whatever it is that needs to be fixed. It's like, it doesn't need to be fixed right now. Right. But just from a tendency, from a component of astrology, like, but we approach it from different ways. Dad's going to be like, well, I got to eventually pay attention to it, but I'm going to put it on the back burner. I'll get to it when I get to it. That's, if
Do you remember that when we were younger?
Which part?
He would be like, you'd ask him a question and be like, I don't know. Like, he couldn't give you an answer right away. I get that now. Like,
well, and it's in his chart.
Yeah.
It's in his chart. Like, and it's not, and it's like,
don't push me into that.
We were frustrated. We might have been frustrated because we didn't get the answer right away, but that was just that was just the gratification edge that you wanted.
Yeah.
But then it's like how you would manage it. You would just be like, well, I don't know if we're ever going to get to it. Like, whatever. And then I would just be like, yeah, I see it. I'm not doing that. Right.
Right.
Meanwhile, Mom and Chandra would be like, we just tackled it. We just finished whatever. So we would sit back and be like, watch this. They're going to do it.
Oh, good. The dishes are done.
Oh, good. The dishes are done. Oh, would you look at that?
Look at that.
I'll be in the bathroom for the next 3.5 hours.
Procrastinated so much, you took care of it.
Tell you what, I'm going to do you a solid. I'll empty the dishwasher. Remember that one? Good Lord. All right. So, did you have fun with this?
I wish that was my biggest obstacle in life. Who was going to empty the dishwasher today? You're not going to do it for me, are you?
No. No. I do remember one time.
One time at band camp?
No, that was different.
Flute?
No, I do remember one time where I just didn't want to do the dishes. And I'm like, can we switch? And we could switch. Like, it didn't do anything other than, we needed to, and it wasn't even like it was that much in dishes. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this. And you're like, fine, I'll switch with you. And then, like, I got a full-time job and I was never home to do the dishes anyways. That was pretty awful of me, wasn't it?
Well, it was also the day I broke my hip.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Was it my day to do the dishes?
It totally was your day to do the dishes.
You probably got a good 6 months out of that one.
I had to wash the dishes then for 6 months straight, which I wasn't upset about. But I was also kind of like, come on, chop, give me the ringer. Like, let's just kind of get this stuff done.
Yeah.
But I think the problem that I had with that, yes, Chandra, but were you for a candy bar? We told that story.
Full size.
King size. All right, are you ready for some cards? I'm going to give you a couple.
Okay.
What's the new thing that you're doing? What changed at work? What changed in what you were doing?
My employer.
Oh, kind of changed a little bit, huh? Is it better or worse? Or are you kind of jury still out?
Give me another year.
Yeah? Do you love what you do?
I do.
Yeah. Ace of Cups, and you're really, really good at it. By the way, Three of Pentacles, kind of a secretive thing. It's almost like you're going to, like, it's kind of on the hush-hush. Where...
What's on the hush-hush? Can you tell me?
Yeah, kind of like, I think they have you, I think they're going to pull you aside and say, we want you to do this for us as well, but don't tell anybody because we're going to pay you more.
Oh, no, I'm already doing it.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm getting my wound care certification, but all this other stuff is...
Is it gonna cause conflict with your colleagues?
I hope so.
What's that?
I hope so. No, not really.
No? You don't think so?
Maybe like one or two.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
And then you can't keep everybody happy. 6 of Cups. Are you going to have another baby?
No, fuck no. I'm going to be hitting 50. What the fuck would I be
Are you really? I had no idea.
Well, 2 years. A year and a half.
Is it weird to think that I'm 50?
Yeah, that's weird. I cut you off once you hit 50. I'm like, I don't have a brother anymore. I got this old man in my life, not a brother. What's that?
And then the Magician. You are a manifester. You make shit happen, doesn't it? Don't you? Wheel of Fortune, destined to do what you're doing. By the way, if you didn't tune in earlier, we talked about Nana and how that was a big influence in her life. And then the Knight of Cups. Whew, this is kind of a new adventure. Do you think you might be in charge someday of what you do?
I'm in charge every day.
That's not what I said.
I would, but you know what? I mean, like, if
Is
we're
it
talking,
like less pay if you did that?
No, if you were talking about career, and I have had very serious conversations, I'm qualified to do all of the above, blah, blah,
She
blah.
could kill me.
But no,
It's not an accident.
The further away from patient care, the less you become a nurse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can kind of get that.
So, I mean, once I stop being proficient at that, then yeah, that's the trajectory. Is
Yeah,
you physically or mentally can no longer do that at the bedside, whatever that looks like.
all right.
It's not soon.
Well, you're good at what you do.
Fuck yeah.
Can I get you a king size candy bar?
King size sangria would be fine.
I have never seen somebody eat the ice and the apples in one chug.
First of all, I've never seen bite-sized apples in my sangria. That's a choking hazard. Duh.
It happened to me. That's why I'm yeah. Like, oh my gosh, what is that? I was just getting my fruit.
Get my fiber in.
My fruit and my fiber in. All right, let's go storm the castle. Do you think you can do it?
No, take a miracle.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being part of the journey here. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys soon. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'm going to have the John Madden video up for your viewing pleasure. And by the way, if you don't know who John Madden is, he is the one that was calling all of the Thanksgiving games every Thanksgiving. Him and Pat Summerall would call the game. His astrology screams football. It also screams kindness. So go and enjoy it. Thanks, guys, so much. We give each other the heart tap to remind one another to simply keep going. And guys, find the small times. Find the times that will let you recognize that it's not all bad. We're going to figure this stuff out. Thanks so much for being part of the journey. Thanks for joining me. You want to do this again?
Sure. When I leave my house again.
Well, we could dial you in. I can make you like a commentator, like the state of healthcare.
Okay.
You can be like Ocean Surge.
Here. Coming
Hampton.
to you from Hampton, New Hampshire.
In Hampton. By the way, everybody that vacations in Hampton, and there's quite a few people on this that are East Coasters anyways, that will vacation in Hampton, they will be looking for you. And somebody will stop you and be like, were you?
Come, say hi.
Come say hi. And by the way, she will always make you a pie.
I've never baked a day in my life.
True.
I'll buy you a pie if that's what you need.
Here's a pie. Get out. I don't care. Go. But what about the pan? Take it.
It's not even mine anyways.
Just go. Just get it.
Just go. Last time I baked, I burned my house down.
So if you're looking for her in Hampton, just smell
Galley Hatch. I'll buy it for you. They have a lovely bakery.
This is a part where everybody's trying to figure out where you live now. Just go and walk on the boardwalk. She goes down there all the time. You'll know her by her feet. Thanks so much, guys. For
Corner of B Street and Ashworth.
Keep going. See you guys later. Have a great Thanksgiving. What's wrong with you?
I'm half left.
You're half left. Well, I'm